The love of the animals, though. I can't say Little Richard no more. I wonder what Little Richard do. You know what I'm saying?
No, 100%. I grew up around horses.
Yeah.
It's like when you're around certain animals and you can understand the energy that you can share with them and the relationship you can build with them. Yeah, I want to keep all mine. 100%.
Right.
No matter what they say is going to happen, like, I'm going to fight for it. What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets REACT, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction. Super excited about this video. If you're new to us
And we're new to you,
make sure you scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell
because we're on the road to 200K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, all right? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Oh yeah, I know the farmers is really upset with this. All your crops.
The fight is chaotic, and these Yellowhead County ranchers and farmers are on their own.
We're helping ourselves because we have to at this point, and we can't wait. The fire's not waiting for permission to put it out. Like, are we supposed to just sit idly by and oh, okay, you guys told us to evacuate.
You do what you have to do, and sometimes you might get in trouble for it.
Kelsey Miller and Samantha.
Is that like a southern thing? Like when it's time to evacuate, we just got that one group of people that know we're gonna sit there and fight whatever the storm gives us.
Yeah, but
I feel like
Canada.
This is not California.
This is Canada.
Oh,
I was thinking of California
because
too.
California have fires all the time, but not like this. Has been a minute since we had one like this.
Yeah. So
yeah, I
think the problem is it's not the season for the wildfires yet. So that is why it's causing a big uproar with all of the people, right? If I'm wrong, correct us.
I mean, especially for them to want to sit back and have to save their crops.
Right. And their homes.
Well, hey, listen, I guess we have a lot of similarities. We're the same way. Some of us just we won't leave when it comes to a storm. Like, we're going to weather it out.
That's sad, though. We need to leave.
I actually sat outside through a storm one time.
Craziness. The fire is a whole nother thing.
The Callew grew up on nearby ranches, friends since they were 5, now coordinating a network of volunteers putting out hotspots.
So how did you learn how to do this?
So last week, I learned my first firefighting skills, I guess. Any inaction results in loss, and we don't want loss of life, loss of resources, loss of land, loss of our livestock. There's too much at stake for us to be idle.
Trucks fill up at Jimmy's Pond. Food and fuel donated.
If you turn around right now, you can see our army of public support coming down the road.
Businesses lend vehicles.
That's trucks from people that give a shit about Albertans in general, not just who's in power and who's got the money.
Well, we're nothing if not resilient.
Miller and Callew are among the many in Alberta who defied evacuation orders and stayed behind to protect their homes and livestock because, they say, no one else was coming to do it for them.
We're not beating up the firefighters and boots on the ground and the people in the skies. We are extremely grateful for each and every single one of them. We want people to know that we were literally abandoned and we have every right to be upset. And so what crews did you have on Saturday?
Miller and Callew confronted officials at their local fire station and streamed it live.
Humans are helping humans now. Where is the empathy here?
I believe you that you're saying you guys are frustrated, and I do understand.
We're beyond frustrated.
Across Alberta, anger is simmering.
I have farm animals that I cannot crate up and take to a hotel. They're farm animals, farm dogs, farm cats, chickens. How do you load 50 chickens into a hotel?
They're kicking people out that are helping. So why are we not allowed to help?
Wow,
I understand your frustrations, I do.
No, answer the question.
Fueled by the sense governments, both provincial and local, simultaneously aren't doing enough to help. And
that's
okay,
wild.
so are they penalizing the people who are like, the people who stayed back when they were told to evacuate? Are they penalizing them for protecting their own homes and land and livestock and all that? Because when the lady, of course, we're in the South, we don't really deal with wildfire.
No.
We deal with fires, but it's like controlled for the crops.
Where we from, we never dealt with wildfires.
No, like we never had to.
But we speaking for other people near, like neighbors, like yeah, they have.
Yeah, the only like disasters that we've dealt with was
water and storm.
Yeah, hurricanes and tornadoes
and winds
and snowstorms now.
Yeah, snowstorms.
But if we stayed back for the storm, we'll be in trouble because everybody left. There'll still be some like they got some people gonna stay back because we got some people with boats. We got some people that have big trucks. Like we sit high with our vehicles. Like we got big tires, so we know to prepare with those type of arrangements. But we're not gonna be penalized for staying back. They just gonna say, hey, whatever happens, that's what happens. Like we told y'all to evacuate. Right, because I can emphasize with the lady who was like my livestock. I can't just put my chickens and whatever 100%. Else in a hotel room. And I'm thinking about, we have a dog. Baby, if we gotta evacuate, my dog gotta come with me. Mm-hmm. But what if I go to a hotel and they're like, your dog can't come in? Or
it's overpacked. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, everything is probably booked.
Right.
Yeah, everything's probably
booked.
That's
sad to think about. Like, I'm gonna leave, but what about my animals? Like,
I wouldn't want to leave.
Right?
I personally wouldn't want to leave. If I put a lot of like blood, sweat, and tears into my farm, and I put a lot of investments into my farm, bro, I'm gonna try to make sure everything stay the same. That's a lot of money.
For real.
Let's just say that. That is a lot of money that's about to go down the water.
The love of the animals, though. I can't say Little Richard no more. I wonder what Little Richard do. You know what I'm saying?
No, 100%. I grew up around horses. Yeah. It's like when you're around certain animals and you can understand the energy that you can share with them and the relationship you can build with them. Yeah, I want to keep all mine. 100%. Right. No matter what they say is going to happen. Like, I'm going to fight for it.
Right. Then I'm thinking, y'all know, we just in Texas. Wait, do Texas?
Girl, don't even ask the question.
The other side.
I want to know if Texas was responsible. Because when we first moved out here, the heat was stupid.
Yeah.
The heat was wild.
Yeah.
Like,
ooh.
Man, I wore the shortest shorts I ever wore them days.
He's so crazy.
It was so hot, bro.
Getting in people's way when they try to help themselves.
Your response was garbage.
Fueled by the sense governments, both provincial and local, simultaneously aren't doing enough to help and are getting in people's way when they try to help themselves.
Your response was garbage.
The anger here, the tension, and the anxiety are all playing out in the middle of a provincial election, just as Albertans are facing a decision about what kind of government they want in charge in a crisis. The reality is both potential premiers lead parties who cut wildfire budgets when they were in power. Rachel Notley's NDP cut $15 million in 2015. In 2019, the United Conservative Party disbanded a specialized team of firefighters who rappel into hotspots from helicopters.
I wish we could have everybody everywhere that it's needed all the time, but it is part of the reason why we are calling in resources from outside the province.
It's not enough, says Wade Williams. He's the mayor of Yellowhead County.
No, I'm not satisfied with the amount of support we're getting from the province. I don't, in my opinion, the province wasn't geared up for this wildfire season when it hit.
How do you respond to residents who are telling us that they didn't get enough support from the municipal firefighters and are having to do this all by themselves?
Yellowhead County does not fight wildfires. We fight structural fires.
That's the reality in much of the country, says wildfire scientist Mike Flanagan.
Well, with 100 new...
So if the fire is on a run, y'all just let it run. But if it's structured to where a house is burning down, y'all put it out.
Wow.
But what if the house is burning down and then the fire goes to the next house? Is that a structured fire then? Oh, that's be considered a wildfire, a loose fire. And you're supposed to stop people from getting harmed at that point? That's kind of your job. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, that's foreign to me. That, and this is only one area that they're highlighting.
Right. Yeah.
This is going on all over Canada.
Yeah, and again, I did mention Cali because that's one location that usually catches wildfires. I'm highly familiar with those incidents all the time. But I feel like this is a little shocking for people that it happened like this in Canada, you know?
Right. Because on our news stations, we heard of it with the smoke in New York, but that's all we should have known that, okay, if New York is getting hit with all of this smoke, what is really going on.
Without even paying attention to it, it came across our feed. You know what I'm saying? That's how we necessarily heard about it, like with the skies turning colors and this, that, and the third. So it's like, yo, something must be going on.
Right.
What's happening today? And then they say there's a fire. It's like, yo, that's big. That's really big.
That's crazy.
That's huge.
Fire starts. No fire management agency can deal with that many fire starts all at once.
Provincial crews, he explains, are responsible for forests or green zones. The white zones fall to municipalities, many with volunteer fire departments not trained for wildfire.
You know, fire management agencies like Alberta Wildfire do help out in the white zone when they have the resources. But what happens is very quickly they're overwhelmed and they no longer are able to help.
And that's why some ranchers find themselves on their own. They're in touch with forestry officials. Some, they say, have thanked them.
We got permission to bring in our equipment.
It's hot, dangerous, and exhausting.
By the looks of it, we're going to be doing it ourselves for the rest of the summer, and it's not okay.
Wow.
Lindsay, how dangerous is it for people to be fighting fires on their own?
That's certainly a concern, and we heard over the weekend from the fire chief in Grand Prairie. He put out a plea for people to leave the firefighting to the professionals after a bulldozer nearly collided with official crews working on the fire line.
Oh.
And with all the questions about deployment of resources, any sense of whether this is going to have an impact on the way people vote in the election?
I didn't get that sense from the people that I spoke to in Yellowhead County. You know, politics in rural Alberta is pretty baked in conservative. And Kelsey Miller, the woman that we spoke to in the piece, said just because people are asking for more resources and asking for more help doesn't mean that they are looking for a different premier. And politics these days everywhere really is full of wild theories. We're hearing that too. There are online social media posts suggesting that this fire was deliberately set for political purposes. That's something we've heard on the ground as well.
That is wild.
Oh, frustration must be displayed because the people need the support of the power that they have in place to handle situations, regardless if it's structured, regardless if it's wild. I remember seeing they have helicopters would drop buckets of water at times. Firefighters would be out there. I mean, hey, if they're doing a little of something, I feel like that is should always, be appreciated, which I feel like people are actually saying they appreciate the help. But at the same time, is the another big percentage of the help that's needed that's not necessarily getting it.
Right, because they're telling the farmers and the public to not get involved. Leave it to the professionals, but the professionals are telling them we not trained for this.
That's crazy. Like, that's a slap in the face.
It is.
I wouldn't I'm definitely going to stay back and handle my business. I think people that's doing what they have to do is very brave and, they doing everyone justice by staying back and doing that much.
Right. So we did get a chance to see the y'all anger, because we know y'all are super nice people. Sorry. Baby, if that was us, they would have had a whole lot of yelling up there. A whole lot.
Man.
So I feel like they handled their frustration cordially.
Yeah.
So let's see.
CTV's Judy Trin is standing by at the Bureau for us in Ottawa with more. Judy, you were at that news conference earlier this morning. Before we get to the tensions that seem to be bubbling up between the province of Nova Scotia and the federal government, recap for us, if you will, just how dire the wildfire situation across the country is right now and what your sense of the federal response is.
All right, Marcia, what I can tell you is that before you saw the official news conference, we had a technical briefing with some experts from Natural Resources Canada in which they gave us statistics and the logistics. So what we are seeing now has been called unprecedented. Unprecedented not because exactly of the number of fires. You mentioned the number, more than 1,800. That is about normal, they'll say, not alarming. But what is alarming is that the fires are burning larger and longer. Now, federal officials say that this is because of climate change, hot, dry weather, which is going to continue throughout the month of June. So right now, the situation is that you have more than 28,000 people have been evacuated from Alberta and Nova Scotia. Many of them have been able to return home, but this has disproportionately impacted Indigenous communities in the north, and so they are suffering the impacts of this. Today, the federal government announced training measures to train Indigenous firefighters, but that won't come into play for this season. It won't help. So right now, the situation is dire. You mentioned that there is going to be some turf wars, and I can tell you right now that large swaths of Ontario and Quebec are in an area that is considered at high risk or extreme risk because of dry conditions. Wildfires have already started popping up in these two provinces, and what makes this...
Hold up, let's look at this map. So the blue is low and the red is extreme. Oh my God.
It's not looking too good.
It's literally on two sides of the country.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How is it a split? Unless the look, I'm not even to weather like that. But unless the poles are like pushing the air like it's pushing, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how they say the dry winds are gonna come here, it's just gonna coast to your west and then flutter back over here. Like, unless it's doing one of those circulations, because
it's literally split.
It's a different one for me.
This significant is that Ontario and Quebec have sent firefighters to Alberta, to Nova Scotia. So once again, when these fires start picking up pace here on these two provinces, they'll be forced to take back their resources. And once again, resources across the country will be stretched, Marcia.
Yeah, I believe one of the ministers, Judy, said that we've seen 150 years of burning in 1 month. And again, this is just the 1st of June. We haven't even officially hit summer yet. Okay, let's turn now to what the federal government is doing to support Nova Scotia. Tim Houston pleading for more help, saying in his news conference that he learned a lesson following Fiona. He felt that the federal government's response was inadequate. There's obviously some back and forth going on there between that province, that premier, and the PM and the federal government. Blair saying today that help is on the way for Nova Scotia. What's that going to look like, Judy?
What Minister Blair said is that hopefully by the end of the day, we are going to see Canadian forces, soldiers on the ground helping fight fires in Nova Scotia.
Well, you know, I know why it would be smart for them to evacuate, though. I watched a video, it came across my feed or whatnot, and it was a gentleman driving on a highway, and as he was crossing over, it just got red and red and more red, and you could actually see the flames coming into the street. You know what I'm saying?
I saw that one.
And them boys was terrified.
Yeah.
Them boys was terrified.
terrified.
Until they made it out, then they started laughing. And the skies looked like nothing happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was very, very severe. Very severe.
Crazy.
Vocal in terms of his criticism, right? He said he got those requests in early. What Minister Blair said today was that it is hard to contain these fires, much more of a challenge when they happen close to urban areas, which is the case in Halifax. We learned today that more than 200 homes have burned down in the Halifax area. The majority of people fighting the fires are actually volunteer firefighters, so they need resources. Marcia, I can tell you that international help or more international help is on its way. And some of those resources will be diverted to Nova Scotia. They were planned for Alberta. We have more than 200 firefighters from South Africa arriving in the next couple of days, along with 100 more American.
That's good. American, South Africa.
Hold up, wait. She said American, because y'all be getting on us talking about, y'all say American, but Canada is American too. Okay, she said it.
Yo, I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, I'm sorry, babe. You said something about South Africa. That's what she had said.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. Oh, yeah. So I'm happy that we watch, our other cultural videos of geography now. Because now is a good time for Canada best friends to help.
Yeah. Canada best friends. Who their best friends?
Whoever their best friends is.
I thought the United States was their best friend.
That's the only best friend they have?
I thought.
And the allies.
In the UK?
The people that's they're pretty cool with.
I don't know. Y'all let us know.
I know it's a few people though.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like seeing our cousins from this place go help our other cousins.
Yeah.
Get together.
Yeah.
Because we family on this channel. Okay.
Yeah, the military being deployed to Nova Scotia.
Firefighters helping. They were initially slotted for Alberta, but we are being told that some of them will be moved to Nova Scotia. We don't know how many. Right now, there are firefighters from Australia, New Zealand, the U.S., and South Africa here. But we also have international agreements with Mexico as well as Costa Rica. So we could see an influx of help from those countries as well. So this is very much not just a national effort, but an international effort. And we're going to be relying on...
Again, it's always a beautiful picture in the most crisis moments, how unified we can become. Man, that's so crazy to me, bro.
Yeah, and we could
like,
drop
look
politics.
how far. Look, everything is just dropped. Look how everybody from all over is just gathering together to do something beautiful to help.
I love that. Because Canada always help others, though.
Oh, 100%.
They do.
I just wanted to point out how unified, we can be. If we just put our minds to it and not have to let it be a natural disaster. Like, that's something that's always can be, like, it's just, hey, you know what?
I love it.
Yeah. It is what it is.
The international firefighters as well as Canadian forces as this fire season continues.
Right, relying on our firefighting partners. So let me ask you this, Judy, because again, coming back to the Premier's ask, and he fully admits it's a very long list. He is looking for equipment. He is looking for modular homes for people who have been evacuated, as you point out. 18,000 people have been evacuated in Nova Scotia alone because at least 200 homes have been burned. Did any of the ministers get into the specifics as to what Nova Scotia wants, apart from the immediate need for extra firefighters in the short term? Did they get into those details today, Judy?
They did not provide details about those specific in terms of getting people temporary housing, how to build that up. What they did say was that there is a commitment to help with the rebuild. But of course, fire consumes and destroys extremely fast. It's quick. So what they acknowledge that they can't get as many resources as quick to those areas as they would like. But right now, I think the concern is these firefighters, some have been working now for more than a month trying to contain these blazes. There is that issue of fatigue, whether or not, not only whether or not we have the human resources, but whether or not they can last. And that is something that's going to have to be dealt with very carefully. Today, we heard the fire chief in Halifax also say that he's very concerned about injuries to his firefighters in this hot weather. As you know, as fatigue and tiredness sets in, the possibility for injuries will increase, and that is something they can't afford because they need all hands on deck.
Yeah, and remarkably, as Premier Houston pointed out today, there have been 0 deaths or injuries, and with that fatigue setting in, we hope that stays.
All right, y'all, we're gonna stop right there. That's beautiful, man. No deaths. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Everybody doing their job. Everybody killing it.
Yeah, houses are replaceable, valuables, but life is not replaceable. So.
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. That's how you come in the room. You claim victory. You let them know it's all going to be all right. They gave them over 200 firefighters, bro. about the flight singing. Wanna read that?
Oh, that was the end.
Yeah, that's the end of it.
Yeah, so South Africa has helped them in 2016, I think it said.
Oh, I didn't catch it.
So that was cool. They brought the Ubuntu spirit with them.
Man, that's what's
Joy,
up, bro. Mm-hmm.
You know, declaring the victory before it's already had.
That's all you got to do. You got to declare it. You got to win the fight before you get in the fight. You got to have that in your mindset that the fire has nothing on me. You're filming like I'm a kill every single blaze. Yeah. Straight up.
Yeah, this was, you know, I love how that ended. And I love how, you know, they sent those 3 clips in together.
Yeah, and again, the unification of it, bro, like, that's beautiful. Everybody unifying together and killing it and doing something positive for the people.
Yeah, I wonder
that's
if
always important.
South Africa is the largest group, because when the news lady was saying, I don't want to say news lady, when the reporter was saying about the cruise that was coming, they only listed the number wise for South Africa. So I wonder if South Africa is the largest aid that they're receiving.
Yeah, and give us an update on how all the countries are doing, how they're like helping out and everything. Is everyone still safe as the fire is actually being handled a lot better? Yeah. You know, things of that nature.
Yeah, because this started about 2 weeks ago, and you know, you guys was like, can you please spread awareness about this? And we was like, because we heard of the smoke, we didn't hear of like what was actually going on. Y'all saw our reaction when we saw that map. Like, it's literally both sides of the country.
Yeah.
So our hearts, prayers, thoughts are with you all. We truly hope that you guys are well.
Yeah, 100%.
Your families are well, you know, and we hope that this is over for you all
very soon.
Yeah. So like this video, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell. We have enabled our super thanks if you like to support the channel that way, as well as our reaction request form is in our description box below. We'll see you soon. Peace.